Good day, students. Today we will be having a look at historical records in our social study books. And as previously, we have looked at many different societies and kingdoms that have thrived in historical times. And today we will have a look at historical records and how these events got documented by many different civilizations, and on how we find out in modern times how things happened in the past. So, just to give you an idea of um, where we are working, we are in our social studies book, in our student book, and it says on page 91, if we can go there, it says in historical records, on page 91, we're going to talk about the pillars of Hammurabi's code, where there were 282 laws made by the king of Hammurabi of Babylon. And it was displayed in the city square so that everyone can see, because rules are important, as we know. And uh, how else could the message and the rules be conveyed to everyone? So it was put on a pillar, and obviously carved out in the pillar of stone so that everyone can see it. And it's obviously not also very easy to remove such a pillar of stone, and that has been carved in it. So today you can still see part of this in a museum in France called the Louvre Museum in Paris. So yeah, I have put all this information in a slide that I would like to want us to have a look at. So this is an example of what the pillar looked like, and if you have a closer look, you can see that there's writing on the pillar, and the pillar is a large piece of stone that would normally keep up a building, um, and um, and support the building. So there was carvings made out of it so that people can read the rules of this town. So there we have a short description. Once again, I'm just repeating myself here. The pillar has recorded Hammurabi's code of 282 laws made by King Hammurabi of Babylon. And this was displayed in the city square where everyone can see it and everyone passes by daily. So today you can see it in a museum in Paris. And there is also a picture of what the scrolls look like and what writing was done on. As we said previous lessons, when there were no papyrus or paper-like substances, people used rocks and clay-like tablets to write on, right, and to document their things. And then this was one of the first treaties to settle an argument between two places, because there were war and conflict going on between the Egyptians and many other kingdoms. So in the treaty, the Hittites and the Egyptians agreed not to attack one another, and also they agreed to help and protect one another. So this was also very good when rules were made. So here you see the Assyrians built the first library um, in Nineveh, and this library contained 25,000 clay tablets. So this library had to be very big, because obviously we know that clay tablets it's big and it's heavy, and we don't use it anymore. And one of the very interestingly enough, one of the library's clay tablets tells the story of the Great Flood, and obviously a lot of these tablets contain um, information that is very valuable today and very interesting to know about what happened at the time, because how else were they supposed to document these things if not on clay tablets? Later on, papyrus was developed, which was like the first form of paper. And then here we have just another example of how things change. So to this modern times, because we are now typing, well, we're using paper and actually moving away from paper itself. So printing and cover binding um, is still used today, but we're moving away from books itself, okay, and trying to move towards what we see here in the picture on the left, where we are trying to document things on soft copy um, via our computers and even our cell phones. We save it not as a hard copy and leaving our carbon footprint, but saving it in the cloud, which is saving the environment at the end of the day. So looking at this video that I have for us, I would like us to have a look at this before we end the session. So this is just a video to show just how things were documented and so on.
Sources of history. In this module, you will learn about the study of various types of historical sources and its importance in the construction of history. Historical sources are the foundation to understand a particular era back in time. They help us to gain knowledge about important events, inventions, cultures, civilizations, and many other aspects about society. They serve as evidence in the construction of history. Let us take a look at some of the historical sources of history. Literary sources are original sources of information in the form of documents or recordings created in the past. There are two kinds of literary sources of history: native literature and foreign literature. Native literature is the literature produced by the indigenous people of a given era. Some examples of native literature of India are Vishak Dattas, Mudra Rakshas, Kalhanas, Rajtarargini, Ashwaghosha's Buddha Charitra, Kautilya's Arthashastra, Amogh Varsha's Kavi Rajamarga, and the Tripitakas of Buddhist literature. Foreign literature refers to the writings of foreign visitors, explorers, and scholars. Some examples of foreign literary sources are Megasthenes Indica, Yuan Sang's Siyuki, Fa Hein's Fu Ko Ki, Ceylon's Deepvansh, and Mahavansh. The writings of Fernão Nunes, who visited the Vijayanagar Empire, and the writings of Domingos Pais, Duarte Barbosa, and Niccolo di Conti. Archaeological sources of history are the artifacts like inscriptions, coins, monuments, pots and pans that have been obtained during archaeological excavations. Let us learn about inscriptions, coins, and monuments. Inscriptions provides us with information about the religion, culture, administration, economy, and other aspects of a given place during that period. The earliest inscription found in India was written by the Mauryan Emperor, Ashoka. These inscriptions were engraved on rock edicts, slabs, and stone pillars. Some of these edicts have been found in Maski in Raichur district and Brahmagiri in the Chitradurga district of Karnataka. The inscriptions found in India are mostly in the Brahmi script and the Prakrit language. The Halmidi inscription is believed to be the first inscription available in the Kannada language. Numismatics is the study of the evolution, nature, and development of coins. Early coins have been minted by using a variety of metals. A study of these coins helped gain knowledge about the minting technologies used, as well as the religious, economic, administrative, and social aspects. They help us to know about the important rulers or famous personalities of that era from the images on the coins. Stupas, basadis, or Jain temples, palaces, and fort ruins are the kinds of monuments which exist today. These monuments enable us to know about the unique architectural designs and technological, social, religious, political, and economic conditions of that period. They reflect the achievements of kings and administrators. Ashoka's pillars, Ajanta and Ellora caves, the Elephanta caves, Badami, Aihole, and Pattadakal of Karnataka are evidences of India's glorious heritage. A legend is a story from the past that is believed by many people but cannot be proved to be true. Legends are also referred to as Sthala Puranas. There are many legends about individuals, events, and customs of the past which have been passed down the ages. Although legends do not provide direct information relating to an event, they reflect the social beliefs which prevailed in the society. Let us now recap all the important points that we have covered in this module on social.
Okay, so with that, I will do it orally to just basically summarize what we have looked at. So very interesting that how things were documented, and there are many more than just writing things on tablets. And we had a look at many more things than just writing things on paper itself. That we can actually look at coins, we can look at the old buildings, we can look at many things to show us what happened in the past, because these these documents, these monuments, these money, the coins, and all those things can tell us a lot about the past. So this is then what this session is about, and I hope that we took in what was said, and it is very interesting to see what made up these documents and how we can still follow on what happened back in time. So with that said, this brings me to the end of this session, and just to remind you that we were on the pages page 91. Also, you can have a look on page 92, where the Assyrians built the first library in Nineveh, and this library contained 2,500 clay tablets, and there we have this picture that I showed you on our slideshow. So this is then the end of this first session for social studies this week.